What's up guys, I'm randomfrankp, back with episode 58 of Room Tour Project, the series where we show off the best setups. Our special guest is going to be Justin from JTechApple TV, showing off his crazy clean setup. I think you guys are really going to like that, as well as some awesome ones in this episode as well. So we'll start off episode 58. First up, Demon Becks is giving us a look into his man cave. This little room is going to be great just to have his dedicated gaming setup in. At first glance, you can see it's pretty simple, definitely well maintained and very organized at that, but with the RGB lights, his hardware and gear give him some extra color and personality in his setup. First off, that display of his is the ever so popular Acer Predator X34. It's the 34-inch 3440 by 1440p monitor with a refresh rate up to 100 Hz. And if he's going that solo monitor option, this is definitely the way to go. He has that mounted with a Freedom Arm desk mount. You can see on each side of his monitor he has a JBL LS305s. They are studio monitor speakers, and they're hooked up to the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 interface, which is shown on his desk. Now getting into the rest of his gear, his keyboard of choice is the Corsair Strafe RGB with MX red switches inside. That is on a nice Corsair MM300 extended mouse pad, and his mouse is Logitech G502 Proteus Spectrum RGB mouse. Definitely top of the line peripherals here. I own them both and they are great. Now switching over to his PC, which he has on display nicely on the right side of his desk. This is the case that every time I see it, I just can get lost in its beauty. It's the Fantex Enthoo Evolve ATX case with that nice tempered glass on the side, making the hardware on the inside a piece of artwork. Inside he has the Intel i7 6700K CPU with a Corsair H100i V2 liquid cooler to keep that cool, all on the Asus Maximus 8 Hero Alpha motherboard. We have 16 gigs of G.Skill Trident Z RAM, and along with almost 2 terabytes of SSDs to run his games, he has the Asus Strix GTX 1080 graphics card. The RGB strip inside helps him accent that red and black theme with some things like his red fans, as well as the red accent on the RAM, and the red cables, and just in general when the lights are off, and paired with that case again, the lights make this case look even that much better. Altogether for his dub, the man cave, this is pretty nice. It's overall very simple, but he keeps it clean and definitely has top of the line stuff here. Love the monitor choice, great peripherals, and a beast of a PC. Next up is Shahrukh. If you guys remember, a few months ago I showed off his setup on here, and I can easily say hands down this is one of my all-time favorite setups. And now he's made some great changes to make this setup even more beastly, if that was even possible. I can't cover everything here because there's just too much craziness going on, so don't forget, check the description where I'll have everything listed. But I'm just going to run through here what he's got going on, and you guys can just have your eyes glaze over as you stare at it in amazement. Shahruk's got 3 Dell Ultrasharp U2414H monitors. They are mounted very nicely with 0 cables anywhere in sight, and that's a theme for this setup. His keyboard is the Corsair K70 RGB. He does have some custom white keycaps on there to fit in with his white and black theme. Couple that with the Corsair M65 RGB mouse on a HyperX extended mousepad. Definitely give him some great peripherals when gaming. Now again, with this setup, it's how he keeps it so clean and organized is what I love. Cables not anywhere to be seen. He has a hole probably drilled through the middle of his desk so you can't see the cables from his mouse and keyboard. I love the little Star Wars pop figures in the back with Darth Vader and a Stormtrooper, again highlighting that very clean white and black look here. Everything is just so nice and organized, it blows my mind. Now into his PC, and this thing is just gorgeous. The water cooling job on this is phenomenal, and altogether just really adds a lot to this setup, with it being a pretty big overall PC on display on the right side of his desk. Inside the Corsair 750T white case, we also have some custom painted white parts as well. He has the Intel i7 6700K CPU, that's on a Gigabyte Z170X Gaming 6 motherboard, 32GB of some Corsair RAM, and 2 980 Ti's in SLI here. So not only was this a powerful PC when he built it, adding that really nice custom water cooling job here from EK makes it look amazing. But actually, one of the main reasons I wanted to show this off again was because of that little station to the right in the room, his console setup. Now before all the fanboys go crazy, hold up, because this is not just your ordinary console setup. Throughout the past few months, he's been keeping me updated on this custom water cooling Xbox One and PS4 hardline concoction here, where he has both consoles built into one, and it looks crazy. As you can see, he has both consoles built in what kind of looks like an entertainment center, but you can see like the motherboard and the internals for both the Xbox One and PS4, and just that really unique hardline water cooling he has going on to keep both consoles running cool together. And for a custom DIY project pretty much, having this PS4 and Xbox One all-in-one water-cooled unit looks awesome. So Sherukq, man, gotta hand it to you. You've done it again. You've blown my mind. You've probably blown everyone else's mind. And this just, it always goes down. This is one of my favorite setups of all time. I wish I can come over, hang out, chill with you, and just enjoy and bask in this amazingness. I gotta stop drooling. Let's move on. Now let's take a look at this glorious wide L-shaped desk here, built perfectly for his entire setup. The desk is long enough so we can have his very own dedicated gaming side, then just, a little workspace off to the right. But with that backlighting with the red RGB light strip, definitely adds some nice accent lighting. First off, he has two monitors. One is horizontal and the one next to it is vertical. The vertical one to the left is the Dell 2408WFP, and the horizontal is the Dell U3415W, a very popular ultra-wide curved 3440 by 1440p display. You don't see this kind of monitor setup every day, but it definitely still gives him some extra real estate to the side. That leads right into his wireless Samsung soundbar underneath the monitors, which you can also see on the right side of his desk. He has his headset, which is the SteelSeries Siberia 800. Now into the rest of its peripherals, he's using the Logitech G810. That is one of their newer RGB keyboards. Coupling that is his Logitech G502, probably the most famous mouse on this show. And they're sitting on a red and black extended mouse pad to help fit in with his red and black theme, as well as accenting all the red RGB lighting he has in his peripherals, the monitor, PC, etc. Always nice to see the monitor wallpaper matching the theme. And then in the corner of his desk, he has his PC, and I love the red and black NZXT Manta here. Great choice for that. Inside, he has the Intel i7 6700K CPU on the Asus Z170i Pro Gaming motherboard, 16 gigs of G-Skill Ripjaw RAM, and his graphics card is the GTX 1080 Founders Edition. Also inside, he has the NZXT Hue Plus, like I said before, for some extra lighting on the inside, and yes, RGB lighting everywhere here. Altogether, I love this. Again, great job on cable management and just keeping the setup as a whole very clean and organized. I love when I see setups that don't have a lot of clutter and stuff like that, so great job. And I think sticking to a theme here with the red and black and all the RGB accents and the lighting here really makes it look good. You get a fist bump from me. Then we have a nice and improved triple monitor setup. You can see real quick how it looked last year, pretty average. So switching back to this year's upgrade is definitely noteworthy. His primary monitor is the Dell 27-inch 1440p 144Hz G-Sync monitor. And then on each side he has a Liyama? Is that how you say it? Liyama Pro Lite. They are just two 1080p monitors. Again, just extra real estate on each side. Then on his desk, he's using the Vortex KBC Poker 3 keyboard with clear switches inside, and the Corsair M65 mouse. And again, you have another NZXT Manta here, starting to like this trend. And inside that, he has an i5 4690K CPU, 16 gigs of RAM, and another GTX 1080 Founders Edition card. But I really like the use of this desk unit here. It holds the monitors nicely so they're mounted on each side. You don't really see a lot of cables. He has the speakers up on the top of the desk on each side as well. He used the little shelving units on the bottom to kind of keep that PC off the ground. The unit is called the IKEA Freddy, by the way. Got a little holder for his Sony Bluetooth headphones there. And again, the RGB lighting behind the monitors definitely makes this entire setup as a whole kind of pop. And speaking of pop, you gotta like the pop figures on top of the setup on the little shelf up there. So a great upgrade in a year's time. This thing has definitely matured. Loving how it looks now. And if this is in your bedroom, all you'll need is a little mini fridge next to your setup so you don't have to ever leave and your life will be complete.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Justin here, and a huge thanks to Frank for having me on the show once again, but today I'm giving you guys a tour of my workstation or video editing setup. Late last year I did construct the office and it consisted of a few different workstations, which some of you might have seen. The main editing workstation though has seen quite a few changes, but for the last few months I've kind of settled on everything here. To start out, the daily driver smartphone I have is the iPhone 6s with the Apple battery case, soon to be the iPhone 7 with the battery case as well. As for the peripherals, I use the Logitech MX Master mouse for editing and the Apple Magic keyboard for typing, as I'm a user of the 12-inch MacBook for school and I'm very used to the keyboard. For the computer, I have a maxed out 5K iMac, and this is where I edit all of my videos, so of course power is very important. I've been using a Mac for a number of years, as I edit all my videos in Final Cut Pro 10, which is exclusive to the Mac and is simply what I'm comfortable with. I know everyone's going to think I'm an Apple fanboy, but I actually do review every Android smartphone that comes out for the most part, as well as some PCs here and there, but when it comes down to my work computer and phone, it's really just what I'm comfortable with. Below the iMac is the audio interface I use, which is the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2, which converts the XLR signal to USB. The microphone I've been using for a couple years and I'm using to record this voiceover is the Rode NT1 kit, which plugs into the 2i2 and into my computer for all voiceovers. Last but not least, the speakers I have on my desk is the Audio Engine A2 Plus, and I've had a few of these now and I am a huge fan of them. They sound great, they have pretty reasonable bass, although you can also purchase a subwoofer for it, but most of all they aren't too big and don't take up too much of your desk. Other than that, I've tried to keep this tour as to the point as possible by just covering the major things on my desk, but in the end I do try to keep it as minimalist as possible, and as you would imagine as a work desk, it does get quite messy off camera. But that's it for me, thanks for watching and have a great day.
Alright guys, that'll do it for episode 58 of Room Tour Project. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to check out the in-depth room tour from JTechApple TV, I will put that in the description down below. And also you can find every product you saw in this episode listed down in the description as well, in case you want to check something out. If you like this episode, please give it a big thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. Just got verified today, so pretty pumped about that. And lastly, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. You're not going to want to miss any future episodes of Room Tour Project, as well as any of the tech reviews I got coming up real soon. Well, I'm Random Frank P. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.